Okay, well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join this webinar, I guess. I just want to start by saying how grateful I am to PACE, People's Action for Clean Energy, and in particular, the late Judy Friedman. When I was starting my career in the late 80s, Judy was very instrumental in encouraging me to continue pursuing solar energy in my profession. There wasn't a whole lot of interest at the time, and Judy was very encouraging to me. So I'm grateful for PACE. I'm a board member and been involved, since I moved to Connecticut in 1985, I think. But anyway, I am grateful to be able to share some of the things I've learned in designing net zero energy homes. And I'm going to show two examples. The first, let's see how I advance. Okay. Okay, so this is the house I worked on in Westport, Connecticut. It was completed in 2016. It was built by Chris Trolley or BPC Green Builders of Wilton, Connecticut. It's approximately 7,000 square feet, which, believe it or not, is sort of an average size home in this town. But it is to be net zero energy. Fortunately, the owner was very knowledgeable about what made up a net zero energy home, so it was very easy to work with him. But it is it does have a 10 kilowatt PV system, and their average electric bill is about $40 a month, which is pretty phenomenal. And again, it's very close to being net zero, but I think it's pretty amazing that that's their electric bill, and that covers basically all of their appliances, their heating, their cooling, and hot water. These are a few pictures of the house. These were actually taken pretty close to after it was completed, so there's a lot of landscaping in there now. But you can see these windows these are south-facing windows. We tried to maximize the glass on the south side for passive solar heat gain. This is the 10 kilowatt PV system. And so some of the features of this house are, for insulation, we use double wall construction. The walls are about 12 inches thick. We use a combination of closed cell foam and cellulose insulation. We use R72 attic insulation, which is 24 inches deep of cellulose in the attic. We put 8 inches of EPS foam under the slab. So this house is very well insulated. We use triple pane tilt-turn windows, continuous air barrier. Then for electric heating and cooling, we used electric air source heat pump by Mitsubishi and an electric air source heat pump for heating water. And then an energy recovery ventilation system. And all of these things are powered by the solar. And so I'm going to show you some pictures of the construction. This was after they had framed one of the exterior walls. You can see the double wall construction here. One of the things also, it eliminates any thermal bridging, which is critical in building a net zero energy home. You actually get heat loss through the studs if you don't have a continuous insulation layer. So these walls are 12 inches thick. I also noted this. I want to note that we used open web trusses, which I had never used before, but I'm really glad I did, because all of the mechanical contractors love it. They were able to snake their wires, their ducts, everything through them without cutting holes in the joists, which is so common in the construction I see. So this is the first layer of insulation. This was 3 inches of closed cell foam that was sprayed onto the inside of the sheathing. We then packed it out with cellulose, 8 inches of dense packed cellulose, which is made from recycled newspapers. So this is a very recyclable product. It gives you a lot of R value at a very inexpensive cost. This is how they do it. They put up netting, they blow it into these cavities from a truck. That's done typically. These are just some pictures showing the mechanical systems running through those open web joists I mentioned. These are the ducts that run from the energy recovery ventilation system. These are the air ducts here. And then there's plumbing and all kinds of electrical that run through this system. Let's see. This was outside view of the house. We used a zip R sheathing on this house, which is the air barrier. It's important to note that in net zero energy homes, you try to seal every way the air could get in or out. These houses are completely sealed. They do blower door testing to assure that there's no leaks. This is a system that allows you to air seal the house. It's fully taped. And there's also a layer of insulation on the inside of this sheathing as well. So we also used double or triple pane windows from Germany. This is a Unilux window. There are many other brands, but he wanted to use this brand, and they're basically a tilt-turn product. They come in as a casement window, or they can tilt as an awning window. What's interesting to note is these windows, when they're closed, you basically don't hear any noise outside. They completely seal off noise. And the owner wanted to build his house very close to North Avenue, which is a very busy road. And I was trying to convince him not to go that close to the road, but he insisted. And he knew that these windows were going to cut out all the sound, which they do. A remarkable job. So in terms of the electric features, again, I mentioned we used an air source heat pump by Mitsubishi. We used an electric heat pump water heater by Stiebel Eltron, and an energy recovery ventilation system, and an electric induction stove. So this is the heat pump system. We used 2 air handlers, one in the attic and one in the basement. So we basically have 5 zones, 2 on the second floor, 2 on the first floor, and then the basement has its own zone using a wall unit. And all of that is, heated or cooled liquid is supplied by this one compressor in the back of the house. The heat pump technology has really come a long way since 2016. There's many new products now that allow you to conceal the air handling devices as part of the system. They now have these sealing cassettes that are recessed in the ceiling, so you can basically hide the systems. With these compressors, you can have up to 8 air handlers hooking up to your compressor. And there's many different types of compressors. I know I'm moving very quickly. This is the heat pump water heater. This is an 80-gallon tank, I believe, and it supplies, I asked him, he supplies all the hot water they need. It also dehumidifies the basement, which is an added benefit. And these things come in all different sizes. The other way to do it is to have an exterior heat pump or compressor outside, and then use just a simple water storage tank on the inside. But most of the time we use these kind of these units that have the compressor and the water storage in them. These are the major elements of the energy recovery ventilation system. So when you design a net zero energy home, it's very important to provide continuous balanced ventilation. And that's done through this device. It's a Zender energy recovery ventilation system. And basically you're always bringing in fresh air from outside, and you're expelling inside stale air. And in the exchange, as the air is passing out to the outside, the incoming air is coming in, there's a heat exchanger where you can recover up to 80 to 85% of the energy, the heat energy that you're expelling. So there's actually an air transfer here that transfers the heat energy from the expelled air to the incoming air. So they're very efficient. They're very low wattage, but they do run continuously. And the people that the client says the air quality is exceptional in his house because it's constantly fresh air being filtered. So they also used a electric induction cooking a stove, which I love this picture of the butter. The surface does not get hot. You can actually sit on it, won't burn you, but the pans get very hot. And they use a fraction of the electricity of a conventional electric stove. very interesting technology. They also make heat pump dryers, which use a fraction of the electricity of a standard electric dryer. And then just going up to the roof, this is the solar system. We used a 32 panel sun power PV system, or 10.7 kilowatts. We used Solar Edge inverter with optimizers that maximize the energy production of the system. So at any given time, if this system is producing more power than the house is using, the power is exported into the grid, and you get a credit for what you sell to the grid. And at the end of the month, you get billed on the difference between what you bought and sold. So this system is producing most of the power for this house right now. These are a few pictures of the interior, very contemporary look. The client told me he didn't want anything with any curved surfaces, nothing rounded, nothing at all colonial in any way. So this is what it looks like. So I'm going to jump now to our house in Westport. This is our home. We've been here for 25 years. We renovated the house. We did a major renovation about 12 years ago. And when we did, we put in this solar system on the main roof. This is a roof integrated solar system from Schuco, which combines solar electricity, 5.4 kilowatt PV array, with a 3-panel solar domestic hot water system. So it's a very unique system. It also provides hot air because I designed a system to take the air from under the panels and bring it into the house to help offset our heating. That was an add-on that that's an experiment which is working very well. In fact, the German engineers were very impressed by that. So I was pleased to hear that. This is our garage, which we built about 5 years ago. This is also a roof integrated 2 kilowatt PV system. We're about to put a third system right on this roof, a 10-panel system, which will bring me very close to net zero. So I'm very excited about that. This is a picture from the ground. You can see these panels are built into the roof, so they're basically flush with the roof. So they have a very sleek appearance. You can almost not even tell that these are the hot water panels right here. But it does combine those two technologies. These are our inverters. We have two 3 kilowatt Fronius inverters. This is an outside disconnect, standard equipment in a solar system. This is the hot water system. We have as I mentioned, 3 flat plate collectors, which heat an antifreeze fluid, which goes into the basement, into this tank. This is a solar storage tank. There's a heat exchanger inside. That water is heated and then goes right through this appliance, which unfortunately is gas, but we don't use a lot of it because most of the energy is from the solar. But nowadays, if we were doing this now, we probably wouldn't. This is old technology now. We would definitely be putting in a heat pump, hot water heater, and adding more solar panels to run that. But 10 years ago, that wasn't available. This is our garage. This was built 10 years ago, 5 years ago. We have a roof integrated solar system that was made by Sanyo, which is now Panasonic. This is a semi-transparent solar panel that lets light in and actually can heat the garage as well. And we also have this tied into a Xantrex inverter with a battery backup. So this these batteries are used when we lose power. We draw from these batteries. And the last time we had a storm, we were able to run our house for 4 days on the batteries. And this is my wonderful car, my EV Bolt, which I'm pleased to say is getting its power from these panels. I did a quick calculation that I'm getting about 33 miles a day on the solar alone on these panels, on this system. And I love this car. It's a wonderful car. This is these are my battery-powered lawn tools, which I can say are charged from the sun. This is my battery-powered leaf blower, which I wish all of my neighbors would hire people that use these. It's so annoying when 5 or 6 guys are having these gas-powered lawnmower, leaf blowers all around me. So anyway, I'm almost done. I added this slide because this is a small house in Green Lawn, New York, Long Island. This is my mother's, my stepmother's house, and she hired me to do a gut renovation of the house. Basically, we gutted it, we insulated the walls, we put in new windows, and then she added this solar system. She added heat pumps for heating and cooling, and her electric bill is $14 a month year round. And last time I was with her, I told her, her name is Helen. I said, Helen, you know, you're net zero. Did you know that? And she didn't really get it, but she was very happy to hear that. So you can do that. This is a deep energy retrofit. You can retrofit homes to be net zero fairly easily. And so I'm very proud of this house. And so why are we doing it? And Elise referred to the urgency, the emergency that we're in. I think everyone probably on this call understands that. You know, the recent report from the IPCC, these are some of the quotes. We really need to take immediate, rapid action. There's no more time to waste. We have the technology. Electrifying houses reduces greenhouse gas emissions substantially. It makes sense economically. There's some amazing incentives right now. In 2022, there's some really great new incentives. We have to take action now to avert the worst effects of climate change. So I'm sorry I went so fast, but thank you for your time. I hope I made sense. Again, John Rountree, grateful to be part of this group. And here's my contact information.